Coming in hot. Coming in live.
Coming in from the Kansai Collective. Thank you for my mic's a little far away. Thank you for tuning in, guys. We appreciate you stopping by for another episode of the Kansai Collective. Here, as always, is the man, Asa Questenberry. Joined with me, the host,
your boy Zane, live in the Kansai, baby.
Okay, if it's like you've shaken the rust off a little bit, you get the flow down a little bit.
Yeah, I'm
better
back,
now.
man. I'm feeling good. Japan is doing their thing with the Olympics.
Olympics, yes, big things going on. Kind of big things, I guess.
You know, we're gonna put Osaka on the map, man, and then have the Olympics in Osaka. I don't know what year it's gonna be.
Old men, yeah. I don't think Japan wants the Olympics anytime soon after this. But despite the negativity, despite the possible scandals, despite all the nonsense leading up to the Olympics these years, the 2020, 2021 Olympics, whatever you want to call them, some interesting developments. And today we're going to give you guys a brief intro into our Olympic update part 2.
Yeah, man. I'm not really into the Olympics, but I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of happy that Japan is doing really well.
Hosting, okay, or doing well, right?
Yeah, I talked to a couple of Japanese people about, having hosting the Olympics, and I saw their point of view, which is like they said if an athlete gets COVID and something bad happens to that athlete in Japan, Japan is going to have the blame, and it's going to hurt their reputation. So I was thinking like, yeah, that is, because how many athletes are here in the for the Olympics?
I think you just had some stats. I know it's a lot. I think it's like 18,000 people. No, athletes, right? Just athletes?
I'm not sure about athletes.
Trainers, coaches? I'm
more than that, probably.
Yeah, because I think it's just 18,000 athletes. I mean, I don't know. Like, what's interesting is, like, because of, like, I see all the, the noise or talk coming from, like, expats in the business world here in Japan, where it's like there's a lot of complaints, but I saw a post recently where this one guy's like, here's your reason to support or be against the Olympics for any type of argument. And one point was like, people were like, oh well, to be against the Olympics, they're like, oh well, the Olympics are gonna spread COVID here in Japan, and like the opposite of that is like, we've already kind of gotten the assumption that like COVID is gonna be here to stay, and we need to find a way to like learn to live with it. And most of the people who are against foreigners coming here to Japan are like kind of much older people, like anti anything that's not Japan crowd. So it was interesting just to see the back and forth. But
yeah, they are actually doing a lot to make sure that the Olympics go safe and sound. Like, so they have the Olympics barracks where the
barracks, the dorms,
the dorms. I think
it's barracks. Called the village, the Olympic village. Yes,
put in a little nice name on it, I guess.
Olympic barracks.
Hey man, they sleep and have their
prepare for battle.
Yeah,
the barracks. All right, petition starting today to change it to the Olympic barracks. That
sounds much better anyway.
It sounds like more like gladiator like, right? Like getting ready for war, getting ready for battle.
But anywho,
in the village, in the barracks,
in the village, right? 18,000 athletes, right? And for me, I think it's crazy. I can see why they're taking all these precautions, but the athletes have to keep their mask on
at all times,
unless they're sleeping, eating, or in competition. They are telling the athletes that you should have as much as minimum contact with other athletes as possible. And so they say in 1988, I think it was, the Seoul Olympics, they started giving condoms to the athletes
to raise awareness about the HIV and AIDS epidemic.
Yes, and from that point on, so every Olympics they would give condoms to the athletes. It's really that's really interesting, man. But as far as this Olympics go, they're not giving the condoms.
Hold up, before we jump into the condom talk, quick update
condom. I haven't said condom in a long time.
The Olympic condom talk. We'll get back to that. Before then, some quick updates on cool things happening these Olympics so far. So for those of you that don't know, there's a couple sports that are debuting for the first time at the Japan Olympics, Tokyo Olympics. We have surfing, skateboarding,
yes,
rock climbing,
wow,
and karate.
Yes, that's true.
Karate.
Wow.
First time for those 4 sports. And continuing that note, Japan took the first 2 gold medals for Olympic street skateboarding by
Beautiful.
I think it's like quite a young guy. I forget.
He's definitely young. Don't know his age.
Definitely young. And the girl that won was 13. 13. Do we have their names?
Yes. The boy's name is Yuto Horigome.
Okay.
And the girl's name is
we're gonna flash it right here.
Bam.
We read their names. We apologize. It's very recent. But
yes.
I think like I don't know if viewers like understand like the magnitude of imagine winning. Well, first of all, imagine being 13 in the Olympics like that this little like badass girl. I mean, I'm a big fan. But imagine winning the first gold medal ever for an event in your home country on an Olympics that was supposed to be canceled. Like, like so when I think about that, that's got to be such like an awe-filled like moment. Like I can't imagine that kind of experience, right? Like to win it in front of your even if there's no fans in the stadiums. I mean, just winning it on your own in your own country for the first gold ever.
Yeah.
Extremely impressive. So we got skateboarding, awesome things happening with skateboarding Japan. Way to go. The standings as of today is the 27th, as of the 27th of July. So just beginning in the Olympics. America and China, I believe, are tied.
Okay.
Tied for first, second, however you want to break that down. And Japan, surprisingly, is in third place. Up to this point, they've never started this well in an Olympic Games.
Yeah, man. For me, when I used to live in America too, you know, Japanese people have a different way of looking at things. You know, like even I knew some Japanese American, Japanese Americans, especially like designers and stuff. You know, they bring a different type of style to the game, and it's so interesting how the Japanese have such a smaller population than most countries, but are still doing well.
Showing out. They've got golds in skateboarding, judo, swimming,
yes,
and ping pong, table tennis.
Yes, wow.
China lost the mixed doubles table tennis Olympic gold for the first time ever today, losing
it's
to
crazy.
Japan.
Yeah, coming from America, man, at least where I grew up, bro, ping pong is a little
give it some respect,
sport,
man. It's table tennis.
That's a fact. But oh my God, right? China, how they look at it. You said that they had to go in front of the TV, the media.
The people, the duo that lost had to like immediately go and give like a public wide like apology to the country for taking silver because China has never lost in table tennis in this doubles Olympic event.
So like Asian people, they have this like what would you call it? Like when they feel like they have this like they have to they have to do something well for the community.
Social pressure.
Yes, there we go.
Social pressure. There's a different social pressure.
Yeah.
If you're in America and you lose in the Olympics, there,
of course you'll have your standard haters, you know what I'm saying?
Of course, but you're not issuing a countrywide apology.
Yes.
So apparently very.
It's kind of like that dude from Star Wars, the young guy that played Anakin. The Star Wars fans said he said he did a really bad job
as
with
Anakin?
as Anakin, and he basically like just shut himself out from the world.
No.
So
little baby Anakin.
Yeah, man. So I'm sure these dudes in China for losing,
girl,
man.
It's mixed doubles.
Oh, okay.
Mixed doubles. Yeah, but no, it was like one of the headline news I saw where they're like just. Well, it's also like standard internet trolling and just like hate, but like it's apparently like over the top. Like people telling them like you just don't come back. to China. So it's just crazy, you know, and that goes in, I think, to what we're talking about with the good side and the bad side of the Olympic Games. Like when you leading up to it, I feel like the media has put such a negative spin on the idea of the games that we really lose sight of. I mean, watching the Olympics is awesome, and I don't care what anyone says. Like just having the Olympics on and having you can put on any event. Olympic level sports and athletics is insane. Like I don't think table tennis is that interesting. Put on Olympic table tennis, and I guarantee you I will have a different idea about that, right? Like,
okay, so why do you think it's so great? I mean, I respect the athletes in the Olympics.
Well, that's it.
But why are you so?
Well, that's it, because I think every athlete, it's not easy getting to the Olympics, right? Just the journey alone of being an athlete and getting to that stage is like, you know, a testament of itself.
How do the skateboarders like?
Well, I think it's the same thing. I think to my knowledge, there's, you know, tournaments within your country, then there's regionals, and if you get to the best of that, then you go to Olympic qualifiers where you compete against other people to see if you have the time or the scores that'll get you onto the Olympic team.
I just wonder, as an athlete, for example, like the skateboarders, do the best try out, or is it like, oh, I want to be in the Olympics?
Well, anyone can try out for the Olympics.
Okay. Wow.
Anyone can sign up for Olympic qualifiers and all that. Okay. But again, there are Olympic athletes in there. So like, I don't know if whoever on the internet proposed this idea. I think it's great. I think when you watch it on TV, and this is with any sport, it's so easy to be like, oh, they should have done this, they should have done that, or I could have done this. We need to include an average Joe in every event. You know, here's Usain Bolt, here's all the other track stars whose names I can't name, and then here's Todd. Todd is also going to run in the Olympics. Just as a comparison, Todd was a varsity high school athlete. Todd works at his office job. Todd's also going to run in the Olympics. Just to put in context, like the gap between Olympic athletics and Todd.
Yeah, man, that's very interesting. I mean, I'm sure a lot of average Joes tried it out for the Olympics, and
a lot of them make it. There's a thing today where it's like, because the Olympics are every 4 years, right? Unless like you're in basketball, football, soccer, or baseball, like there's not a professional water polo, team that's going to get you a lot of money. So most Olympic athletes have day jobs. They're teachers, they're emergency service workers, they're nurses. But while doing all of that, they're also still training and competing for their Olympic qualifiers. So I think it's just really impressive. I think it's as the American basketball team is finding out currently, international sports and international competition much different than what we see in the U.S., where it's kind of played into like a TV media drama, where international sports not about that. It's like fundamentals of the game. This is how it works. This is how we're going to call fouls. There's not really much messing around. Yeah,
Ace is a big basketball guy. Let's not get into that, because then this podcast will turn into like
tangent.
But I do want to say, it's just Facebook. For me, what's mind-blowing, and it's been mind-blowing, is that Japan is an island, guys. It's an island that does well in a lot of different things. It has a lot of impact on the world. Like, think of how many products Japan has all over the world. Toshiba, Honda, Panasonic, Toyota, PlayStation, right?
Sony.
And then you got sushi. You got like you got all this
Japan
culture.
Definitely contributes a lot on the global scale. I think if we're talking about romanticized cultures, right? I mean, I would say French culture, American culture, Japanese culture, or I guess you could say British culture as well, to an extent, of like, cultures people romanticize out there and want to be involved in. But Japan is definitely up there, right? So it's cool. It's cool to see a country that has already provided so many things to the world stage now have their athletics also reach that same level.
So like we're going to continue with the Olympics right now. Japan, like you said, is in third. Think of like how it's going to boost the morale of Japan, though. You feel me? Like
Nippon Gambaro.
Like for real though, you know what I'm saying? Because they're
People get hyped,
they're holding the Olympics, right? And they're taking a lot of measures to make sure that people don't get sick, and if people do get
that we can even
sick,
have the Olympics.
you know, yeah, right. And then they're doing well in it, even if they don't become the best. You know, they're holding their own, and I think
Hey, third place out of how many countries are there in the world? How many countries participate in the Olympics? That's pretty good,
right. So then, you know, I just feel like after the Olympics, people are definitely going to be energized. It's going to help, I think, Japan's economy as well, man.
Well, I think, and that's the interesting part, because I feel like, and this is just modern media, where it's like we fall into such like negative, really cynical, you know, media cycles of where like leading up to this, nothing has been positive about the Olympic news coverage. It's, you know, this is a problem.
Right.
It's going to do this, it's going to do that. And there is truth in all of that. But at the end of the day, like watching the events, you know, just us talking about it's exciting. It's exciting to see these people excel. So I was always, you know, kind of skeptical, just feeding into that cynical news cycle nonsense. But man, seeing it on TV, seeing Japan do, you know, great in their sports, judo, you know, their national sport, they're absolutely killing it right now in judo. That's awesome. It's awesome to be a part of that. It's awesome to see that. I think what's really going to be cool, just to kind of, before we get into condoms. Is what the Olympics are also doing right now is I think for the first time that I really know of, the presence of like international Japanese athletes has never been stronger. I mean, Naomi Osaka.
Yeah, that's true.
Japanese by, you know, birth, not really born here, but she's Japanese, right? Shohei Ohtani, best baseball player currently in the world. Rui Hachimura, basketball player, you know, professional NBA player. Like you have such like a collection of international Japanese athletes. And just, I mean, not even international, but just Japanese athletes on the international stage that I think is going to do such positives for athletics in Japan as good role models for the country. Like this 13-year-old girl took gold in the Olympics. I'm going to figure out your name, and if I ever get to meet you, please sign my skateboard that I buy just to meet you.
Yeah, I think it's also going to make the Japanese want to learn English more and be more international, you know, because everything is starting to integrate, like you said, Naomi Osaka, the basketball player,
Louis,
and you got that skate girl. I'm sure she's gonna now travel across the world, you know what I'm saying, in different competitions. Japan is definitely
Hashimoto, the guy who won the PGA Masters. First time Japanese person ever won the Masters golf tournament earlier this year. So you have such a collection of athletes in Japan. I think it's awesome.
Yo, you guys, if you've never been to Japan, you gotta see the work ethic of you know, any part of their life, but it's definitely the sports life as well, you know. So like
club activities, right? I mean, going back to clubs. So it's like you finish school and then you're with your club team, and like your club that you are a part of defines a lot of your image as an adolescent, right?
Oh,
so to take that club sport, you know, I was in club basketball, and now you're, you know, Olympic athlete. It's crazy. They've been
now
working
also him touching on that subject, right? They go to their clubs every day. I'm telling you, like y'all probably think I'm just, you know, making this up. Every day. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Those are the 7 days of the week, brought to you by Zane Johnson.
Like, I think it's so crazy how, you know, they practice every single day, and they're doing the same things over and over, and they do get good, but we can also look on the other side of being American, and you know, we might go like 2-3 days, but still produce the same.
We're lazy. I don't think we produce the same. That was interesting. I was talking to a friend who has kids, and his kids go to school on a Saturday. They go to school 6 days a week, and I was like, "There's no way I'm sending my kid to school on a Saturday." And he's like, "Yeah, I think it's also stupid." He's like, "But all their friends are in school." He's like, "If they don't go to school, what are they going to do? Just sit home and do nothing?" Like, they go to school not because they necessarily want to, because like, but what else are they going to do? Everyone else is in school, so you might as well just be there with other people instead of being that one person that's like just home doing whatever, right? So it's interesting. Bring us back to
Condoms.
the Olympic Village.
No, condoms. I want to talk about condoms. I never
Condoms
seen
were
a
given
condom
out.
out here, bro.
Condoms were given out at the
Wow, he
Olympic
just
Village
ignored me, guys.
to promote safe sex, and there are
Safe
other
sex.
measures being taken
And
to prevent
condoms.
this spread of COVID. What about the bed situation?
So
Interesting development.
basically, there was a athlete that came out and said that the beds were for preventive purposes of athletes having sex.
They're made out of cardboard.
They
They're
are
just
made
cardboard,
out of cardboard.
beds. So the idea is, if you're getting a little too crazy, your bed's not going to last. But the Japanese Olympic Committee has come out and said that this is not true. The beds can support up to 200 kilograms of weight, which is a lot of athlete. And they're more so to stay with their sustainable measures of keeping this a clean Olympics. It's up for you guys to decide. I've never had the enjoyment of getting down on a cardboard bed, but maybe this sets the trend. Maybe this is the new president.
What do y'all think? Do you think the athletes should have sex after?
That's a totally different question. I thought we were talking about beds. Not the choice of whether or not to have sex.
The beds are involved in the sex.
So,
Well, because they think that they're gonna have sex on the beds, right? Or that's what people assume. But usually humans are very creative. We can come up with
choose.
different. Yeah, we can come up with different ideas to get over this hump of.
the basis of this conversation is actually that the Olympic Village is slowly building. Not slowly. It's apparently built a reputation as kind of like a sex crazed place, which is. I totally understand. I mean, the Olympic athletes are there for 8 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Your event might be 3 days.
Wow.
And then what do you do? Like, I mean, you're with people from all over the world. You're in such a unique.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean,
man.
just think of the brotherhood of being an Olympic athlete. You're with 18,000 people out of the 8 billion or so people on the planet
right.
that can say they're an Olympic athlete. So just being in that environment, people from all over the world, athletic people tend to be attractive. I would say, an athletic build is attractive. So, you got a little bit of testosterone flowing. You got yourself a, nice bronze medal, feeling nice and bronze.
Yeah.
You're going to go find yourself a wife. So that's what's apparently being happened. With social media, it's become more common. I've seen a couple videos of people joking about sex in the Olympic Village and the bed situation. But yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think the beds are a preventive measure? Do you think it's more so from the sustainability side? I think it's interesting nonetheless.
Yeah, I definitely am going to lean to the sustainable side. Japan is on that big wave right now, which everybody in the world should
Hopefully into the future, yes. Be sustainable, guys. We appreciate it.
But yeah, if it was for sex, come on, guys. We got to do better. We got to do better. Sex preventive measures. Y'all let us know what you would do for the Osaka Village to stop sexual activity.
How would you prevent Olympic Village sex?
Now these are athletes, Olympic athletes. You can't use force.
They can break through whatever. They're strong. They're not weak people. Whatever you guys think, let us know down in the comments below. If you like this episode, if you want to see more, please like, subscribe, tell your friends about us. Tell us to all your Japanese liking friends. We appreciate you guys tuning in. If you've been with us from the beginning, we appreciate you. If you're joining for the first time, we hope to see you again here on the Kansai Collective. Peace.